What it do, y'all? It's your girl Makeup and Travel, and for today's video I am going to be doing a new series called Must-Haves and Must-Gags. So this is a series that is inspired by Samantha March's Will I Buy It series. I love watching this series. I love watching other people's new releases series, all that jazz. I love watching it, so I wanted to contribute. But what I wanted to do to give the what I want to do to give my own little spin about it is I want to talk about only indie brand releases. So it might be a little bit harder, and I might talk about brands that aren't really indie, and I don't realize it until after. But we gonna get through it. We gonna get through it together, and yeah. So I'm gonna kind of go off two really big or three a couple big ones, and then I'm gonna go to smaller ones. The first one, let me scoot this way. Oh my god, how do I do this? I don't know. There we go. Okay. I'm trying to look in the finder, and this is viewfinder. That's what it's called. I'm looking in the viewfinder, and that's killing me. Anyways, oh, mirror on the wall. Okay, all right, we finally got ourselves together. So the first thing I want to talk about is this. It is the Lifes of Drag palette. Now I know a lot of people have talked about this palette. I'm not going to harp on too long about it. I just want to contribute my 2 cents and say that I think this palette once again is two palettes in one. From my personal opinion, I think that what would have made this palette look more cohesive was had he put those the four brown mattes, had he have made them either a burgundy tone, burgundy-ish mattes and or pinker mattes, would have made this palette cohesively all together make more sense. I think the way that it just looks two palettes separate, and or had he mixed the colors together, I think that really would have made this palette a lot better than what, at least how it looks. Formula wise, I'm not judging the palette. I'm only judging on what I can see, and what I can see is that it's not something I want. So this is definitely a must gag, unfortunately. Next, let's talk about Melt Cosmetics and their Gemini palette. So this is a palette that immediately spoke to me like no other. Y'all know I love to put green on my eye. I love to put blue and purple. So the fact that this had 4 greens in there really drew me in. And then all the other colors were like a rustic darker colors. So they weren't like the typical warm mattes. They had some depth to them. So I really was interested in this palette until I saw a swatch video from a YouTuber that I love to watch, Hot Mess Ness MUA, and I have talked about her already on my channel. I love her, and I love her channel, and she did a swatch video of these on not only her eyes and on her arm, but also on her son's arm, and he is like a medium complexion, definitely has some melanin in his skin, and these look like garbage on him, like straight up garbage. Okay, so as much as I wanted it for those greens, I'm not about it. Let alone when she was blending them on her eye, especially the greens, they were just so I'm good. And you know, it's fine. They only had they only released the product for 2 releases, and that's just a little too, like, I'm okay with limited edition, but that was like limited edition. That was worse than a Kat Von D limited edition. Like, I'm Gucci. I really am. Next, I want to talk about 2 more bottom products for me. Next, I want to talk about the Nabla Cosmetics new line of stuff. So they have concealers, a loose, I think it's a finishing powder. It's a baking and setting powder. They have a beauty, a sponge, a makeup sponge, and a brush. Now I don't have anything against the brush and the sponge. I don't really know how they feel, so you know, I ain't buying it, but it's fine. What I have a problem with is the powder. I have no problem with that at all. Although it looks white, so I don't know if it'll work for me. It'll probably be real harsh, but you know, to each his own, whatever. My problem is their concealer range. They Okay, so they have what, three? So five super light shades, and then they have four deeper shades. Now, for the five light shades, don't get me wrong, they look like they have a really light shade, but for the medium toned people in the world, they really only have about maybe two shades to pick from, if that. So that's already garbage, trash. Ain't nobody got time for that. And then when you come to my end of the spectrum, you have a huge jump from golden beige to warm honey. Huge jump. Like insane jump. And then it's just like no. And then there's another huge jump between mocha and coca. Like I'm sorry. Y'all might think I'm being stupid picky on that one, but I'm just not about that concealer. I'm glad I got to try out their eyeshadows. They weren't as much, at least to me, they weren't worth the hype. So I think I'm a chill on their brand, and you know, I'm good. I really am. Next is a foundation from a new brand that Revlon is actually launching. So they're launching a new brand called Flesh Beauty. Okay, we can discuss the name in a second. But it's supposed to be like a more prestige brand for Revlon. Flesh? They couldn't have found a sexier name than Flesh? Like, that's just not sexy. Like, who wants to, oh yes, today I'm wearing flesh. Of course you're wearing flesh. You're a human. You have skin. Come on. So that already creeps me out. And then the actual packaging is just a little too creepy for me. Like, this whole, creepy. That's all I can say. It's creepy. And that's saying something because I'm very interested in like serial killers. My field, I like bones. So for something to creep me out, it takes something. And those creep me out. Next, and to kind of bridge me from things I'm not interested in and the things I'm interested in, we have the Kylie Summer Palette. Now, let me preface this by saying I love the packaging. I love the contrast from the red to the yellow. I think it's beautiful, really do. Now, do I think she's actually going to give me that in the palette? Probably not. But if she does, will I purchase it? I don't know. A lot of her stuff, especially her limited edition stuff, it has not been getting the best reviews. Jay Kissa does a lot of reviews on her brand, and I know the holiday palettes were garbage. Um, just trash. Just so I'm interested because of the packaging. We shall see further on. But yeah, I'm interested. We'll see. I ain't never bought nothing from her. It's too expensive. Like, expensive. So, we'll see. We'll see. Um, okay. Next is something that I'm gonna really need you guys to help me out with because I don't know. Next is a palette from Violet Voss. It is their, what's the name of this? I think it's called Flamingo. It's their Flamingo palette. This palette is beautiful, especially for Violet Voss. It's definitely a lot brighter. It has some pastels in there. You know, it's beautiful. I will say I think it's lacking in deepening shades. You really only get that black. Everything else kind of looks in the same like depth. But you know, it's beautiful. My only concern is that I have heard and I don't want to get too deep into it, but I have heard some things about Violet Voss that I'm concerned about. And yeah, I don't know if I want to support them, but this palette looks beautiful. I would say if you're interested in it, go for it. I mean, hey, let me know how it is. If it's too good to be true, you know, I might have to scoop it up and just I probably won't do it. Yeah, I just these these colors are really speaking to me, so I think I might go for it. I don't know. You guys let me know how you feel in that palette and if you would go for it, and if so, why. I really would appreciate it. Um, Next is Love Luxe Beauty. Now, this is a brand I have had my eyes on for a while. They have a palette already that could be used for shimmer, lips, and eyes. And then they also have some pastel mixers that you can use for like lip art and lips. And you guys know I do love doing lip art. At least if you follow me on my Instagram, you would know that. So this palette looks beautiful. I mean, it looks like drenched highlighters, but it looks like those highlighters that you can definitely put on your lid. I don't know if I'd go for this one over their other one. I will not be buying both. But I would love to buy one of the highlighter palettes and some of their pastel mixers. I really would love to try that formula and try using that in my lip art. So that is that. That is definitely going to make it onto my wish list after I've went through my summer or spring wish list that I'm still slowly chugging along on. So that is coming through. Next is a palette that low-key disappointed me, but I feel like I have to buy it because of the theme. And I hate when this happens, but let's just talk about it. So it is the Sola Look, what? The Sola Look Grease Pink Ladies eyeshadow palette. Now, if you didn't know, which I don't know how you would because I haven't talked about it, Grease is like one of my top favorite movies. I used to be obsessed with it when I was younger, and it's actually my aunt's favorite movie too. And these shades just aren't screaming, honestly, to me, Grease. Especially when you're talking about the pink ladies. Like, I mean, I guess you can get the blues from Rizzo. Rizzo did wear a lot of blues. You get one pink for the pink ladies. Like, I think that's my biggest thing. I was expecting a lot more pinks, but I really think I have to get this one. And I hate that I feel that way. But if I do get this one, I'm definitely going to get it for me and my aunt because I know she would love it and she does wear makeup too. So, yeah, let me know if you guys love Grease, if you guys love, if you've ever tried Solar Look, because I've never tried their formula. So definitely let me know if you've ever tried their formula. And yeah, I only have one more brand to talk about, but it's two different palettes. So the first one is this. Now y'all know, this screamed me. It screamed me. Like it. This is all blues. It's an all blue palette. And what is it called? What is it called? I don't know what it's called, but this palette is beautiful, beautiful. I mean, my only concern is that I don't see much variation between about five of the colors. It looks like three of them are basically the same, and then another two are basically the same. But I have to have this palette. I saw this palette off of Maker Struggles, her Instagram story, and she asked what we thought about it, and I messaged back saying yes, gotta have it. And then she was like, so are you gonna review it? Which was very cruel because I know she's on a no buy and I'm never on a no buy. So I'm gonna get it and I'm gonna review it for anybody else who's interested, and of course for her as well, and for me because these are screaming my name, screaming. And then their other palette that they have is it's the New York palette. You get like one pink. You get like a magenta color. You get like a red. You get two blues, a purple, a yellow, and it looks like two shimmers. Y'all, I mean, why not? Why wouldn't I pick it up? I mean, come on now. And these palettes aren't very expensive. They're only $28, which is really reasonable for an indie brand. I mean, extremely reasonable. And then they also have, I believe, a highlighter palette. So I was thinking about just scooping up all three of them, all tres amigos, and just really just giving you guys a brand review. Definitely let me know if you want that. I'm probably going to do it regardless. But yeah, I think that is going to do it for my, what's the name of this? What's the name? I forgot. So that is going to do it for my must-haves and must-gags. I hope you guys like my twist on it. Definitely, I mean, you guys can see that I am definitely a more indie-based reviewer and lover of makeup. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this video. See you guys in the next one. Peace.